Welcome to the audio excerpts of special seminars and conversations with Nolan Narula on gettingpositivekarmanow.com.
My mother met with an accident in December. She was coming from Lucknow and she fell on platform. So she had a major injury, so we took her to hospital immediately and the surgery was done. So it's been 5 months. She walks with the help of stick. So I just wanted to know, is she going to be okay? And she's 64 now. So what should we do? Everything is done. I mean, doctor says now, it will heal automatically. So it will take time.
She needs to take some physiotherapy perhaps, if she's not taking it.
She has been doing that also.
You can look at is she in pain?
Yeah, it's pain. So she has osteoporosis from last 10 years.
So she should look at fixing those issues.
She takes medicine to visit the doctor also regularly.
Fine. See, the thing is that there is no position in life where you are totally free of pain in the body or in your situation. The solution is how to manage it. It's not that you are going to be 100% okay all the time. But let's say there is a very bad situation. Are you a healer? No. So with healing, what will happen is that, let's say there is on a scale of 1 to 10, there is some abnormality or pain, let's say level 6 or level 7. And with the healing, it can become 2. It can become to a level where it's as good as not being there. Sometimes it can become 0. Sometimes. Again, depends on how much healing and for how long and how much is the karma to be shifted. So which part of the body was broken? What is that part? I can't see.
Bone is called tibia.
Tibia. Fibula was alright. Tibia was broken. Okay. So they put some plate and things like that?
God, kneeling has been done. It's called kneeling.
So basically now every part of your body that gets injured and particularly gets broken, there are chakras there that store certain attitudes. And the left leg, the tibia area, is storing some, or it has to do with control issues relating to others. It is an inability to move forward from a particular situation. So if you think that in her life what is happening, that there are such situations, and after that readjustment of energy, she would have changed her attitude. Have you noticed? Not yet. Think of, because you've not thought about it.
I have not thought about it.
Yeah, so think about it, that there are issues that are relating to control issues, relating to moving forward from an existing position or trying to maintain an existing position. It can be things like addictions also. You're attached. Over-attachment is an addiction also. So if there is no addiction in terms of alcohol or drugs, then the addiction or the attachment comes over-attachment to something, which gives an unbalanced view on life. So when an accident like this happens, it resets the energies, so that the person's attitude or orientation towards that subject, towards that situation, to that person, changes very dramatically. So you have to examine what was her take on life in general, or specifically in this area, and how has that changed. And it has nothing to do with I'm just recovering from surgery. No. It becomes an attitudinal change. So all accidents are actually shifting our attitudes forcefully. If we don't do it ourselves, then we will get a forceful shift. Something gets healed actually, although it may sound strange, but then if you look at it, accidents are like surgery for your karma. Not the most happy states. But then if you go to a doctor and he may also do a surgery, he may also break your bones and reset it under anesthesia. Here the thing was that there was no anesthesia when the accident happened. Later on, of course, when you go to the operating theatre, it's a different story. So, when we are not moving in harmony with, our situation and circumstances, there becomes a greater and greater dynamic imbalance of energies. And the tension becomes so great that something has to be readjusted forcefully. So this is how relationships also get destroyed. That you will have a certain level of relationship with people and it will go on, the give and take will continue and continue, and then it goes to such an extreme point or such a intense point that there has to be a breakdown at some point. And very often the breakdown happens on something which is totally very insignificant. If you look at, if you have seen in your life or other people's lives where you have lost a friend or you've broken up with some friend or something, more often than not you'll find that that incident was actually very stupid. It was something very silly that you fought about. But that conflagration is required in order to finish all the residual karma that you have to receive and to give to each other, so it goes up in one big explosion. And sometimes it just fizzles out, sputtering away, you grow apart, there's a distance, and then that's the end. So these are the two ways that relationships, karma, ends. Because you used up the bank balance of your give and take. When your give and take to each other is over, the relationship is over. So that's why sometimes you find people who are passionately in love with each other. They can't be without each other and they have a great relationship and they get married and 4 years later they are divorced. Because they burnt up that passion in 4 years or 5 years, whatever it is, which could have been stretched out over 20. So if you go at a steady pace, things last longer. If you go at a very high pace, they may not last that long. Again, depending on what is your bank balance of karma that you are traveling with. But as a general principle, it holds true sufficiently to actually give you guidance. It's like, say, don't be impatient, don't be in a hurry. In the impatience for I want results right now, today, this instant, I'll do anything, that's where you start taking decisions that will give you a troublesome response to deal with in time. The time could be a few weeks, months or years, but it will come back. Like in his case, for some reason, whatever his thinking process was, why I'm keeping the money there and not bringing it, there must have been some motivation to let him keep the money there. Whether he was going to use it there or whether it was going to be useful for him in that place somehow. And then it just got left. Some negligence was there, some dekh lenge, chalta hai, kuch nahi hoega. Although the law has always been that within 6 months to a year, if you are no more working in a country, you have to close all bank accounts and bring the money back. There is a certain time limit also there. But it doesn't matter, But if you have been bringing some money back or remitting from that bank account, it's going to be on the record. If you've been remitting while you were there, it's on the record somewhere. So you need a smart accountant. So look for the best possible advice you can get.
You've been listening to a discussion with Nalan Narula on www.gettingpositivekarmanow.com.